Tech Response. Tech Response. Adidas golf shoes. Can you see the soft spikes here? Tech Response. I'm looking at this thing. The technology in these mesh from at least the 80s, probably before. Synthetic upper. Plastics. I don't know. Vintage tech? Maybe? Welcome everybody. This is my latest addition to my shoe collection. They're just light golf shoes that I needed to match my light golf outfits. I already have dark golf shoes and I needed some new light golf shoes. Sometimes you just need a shoe to be a shoe. Latest edition. Now, I'm talking about golf clubs and I have this bright idea, and this is the beginning of a series called The Vintage Golfer. That's me, The Vintage Golfer. I like vintage things, what can I say? Now, I stole that term from the wine community. If you love wine and you're mad at me for using the word vintage, please leave a comment. I want to know that there are people out there that exist. I want to know you exist. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. But for me, vintage, my arbitrary parameters. Number one, anything before the year 2000, I'm going to place into these vintage categories. Everything after 2000 will be modern and new, and I'll make videos about used modern clubs and new modern clubs. And vintage clubs, so it could be like the 70s. I want a vintage set of vintage 70s clubs or Ben Hogan era clubs. But I probably won't explore antique clubs at the beginning, maybe later. An example. Okay, this is a Byron Nelson persimmon wood. Okay, this is playable. I could play this, and here's why. The shaft isn't hickory. Okay, so this is still a durable shaft. I could hit a modern golf ball, and that opens up another can of worms. And the head is in good shape. Okay, I could hit this head. There's no cracks here. I'm not going to lose this head. It's not going to fly off and hit a Lamborghini or something. Who drives a Lamborghini to the golf course? A Toyota. Okay, it's not going to go off and like hit some Toyota Camry somewhere in the golf club, right? It's stable. I would replace the grip if I were to game this, but like that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to game or look at the beginning to build an antique set of golf clubs, because I'm looking to actually play this vintage set. And that also will limit certain clubs just based off of the value of the club. If a club is extremely valuable and everything needs to be original to retain its value, I'm not going to go out and buy an original expensive club and cut off the grip and put on a modern grip. Does that make sense? So, that said, there are some limitations, and in addition to the cost, just buying valuable clubs from whatever era is going to be so outrageous that it's just not really economical to do and take those out and play with them. I'm just not going to do it, okay? So don't tell me, oh, there's a $30,000 gold-plated set from the 1980s, okay? Yeah, sure. If you're going to buy those and you're going to game those, make a video about it, but those are off limits for me, okay? So some, rules, playable vintage set. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm going to butcher them, right? I'm going to replace the grip. So there are going to be people who whine about it, and I'm going to play modern golf balls. So there's somebody out there, I can see you. No, you have to play 80s golf balls with 80s golf clubs. Same with the 70s and the 50s. Yeah, well, I'm going to do what I want. So, what you're going to see in this series is I'm going to actually go out on eBay and get some clubs that interest me, that have some nostalgic value or some interest to me. So, I love bladed irons. Wilson Tour Blade. I love engineer's irons. Ping, I2. Actually, I remember these from my childhood. I actually had some of these in my very, very first set that I got in college. It was a mixed set. It was just kind of some secondhand golf clubs that friends who golfed and some that I found at the secondhand stores like Goodwill. I purchased there. So I know Ping I2. I love Ping I2. And as I understand it, there were also tour pros who won with these. So, we're going to start off with some interesting clubs, and I need to decide what era of what vintage do I want to build my first set? Will it be the 70s? Will it be the 80s? Will it be the 50s? So I'm excited to dive into this. I'm gonna do some research, get some clubs. I'm gonna make some separate videos about these clubs, tell you what I think, my thought process, and where they stand on my list of what's my first set I'm going to get. And once I decide my first set, I'll build it, get a bag, and I'll bring you along for the ride. Please subscribe if you like the video. Also give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Equipment, vintage equipment. I'm super excited. I am the Vintage Golfer.